name is Sumit Rai. I will be your host for the entire 90 minutes which we have planned for you today. Interesting session, guys. I think on medical education, on healthcare, this has always been in my mind for a very long time to bring certain information very specific to this industry. And today, I actually got this opportunity to speak to you, even bring in keynote speakers from healthcare industry, from German healthcare industry, to talk to you, to help you understand various aspects of healthcare education, healthcare profession in Germany, and how you, especially from India, can take this opportunity about this industry in Germany. I think the last few months have been very stressful, especially for students who have been to Europe, especially to Ukraine and Russia, because of the ongoing war. And the support at the moment which the Indian government is providing to help them settle back in Indian medical system. But this also tells the interest and the opportunity for Indian students which lies ahead in different European countries, and why from India we generally tend to go to foreign destinations to complete our medical education for all the obvious reasons. The competition, the exam, the fees, the structure, the medical system in India, and a lot of things which are associated with that has made Indian students either to look for destinations outside India which offer quality and cheap medical education, or otherwise look at a private setup where the affordability becomes an issue. So I will not be talking more on the Indian healthcare system, because I think that is something which more or less probably would know. From my experience, I know a bit more on this side as well. But I think we will keep ourselves concentrated towards the opportunities and the options available for students in healthcare systems in Germany. Just a minute, my phone started to ring and I don't want to get disturbed in between. Okay. So let me quickly share my screen. I think we're just 1 minute in the session. I will wait for a couple of more minutes to let more people join in, and then we'll go live in the key points which we have planned for you in today's session. Perfect. Just type yes if you can all see my screen. You can do this in the chat box. If you all can see my screen, if I'm loud and clear, just do that. Okay, perfect. My second thought to start this session, before we actually get discussing various topics of this session today, is you can already type in your questions in Q&A section of this setup. It's important that you write it there, because I think in some scenarios, some of those questions get lost in between. But if you have put it in the Q&A section, all those questions would be answered by me or by my team or the experts who are joining us in some time from now, either directly in the section of Q&A, or we will take it up one by one during the session. So whatever questions you probably would have related to your profile, to the healthcare industry, to anything which you would like to know, just type in there in the Q&A section, and we make sure that all those questions gets answered. Lovely. A few more minutes, guys, and then we'll go directly into the session. Waiting for a few more people to come in, and then we go live. Yes, Vishad. We'll talk about the homeopathy education system as well, and how you can pursue this in Germany, for sure. Okay.
Hi, Sumit. This is Mohit. Am I audible to you?
Yes, Mohit, loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Sorry to come in between, but just till the time people join in and we start the session, would love to interact with the people from your side as a representative of you. Hey guys, this is me, Mohit, one of the team member of Sumit Rai, and would really like to welcome you guys today for taking time out and joining us this session. This session is going to be really powerful. So before we start, I would love you guys to keep your notebook handy and keep your questions ready. So when we ask for the question answers round, we'll be keep having question answer round in between of the sessions as a rest interval. So I want you to be ready during that moment. And till the time, we would love to know where are you all guys joining us from, which city, and how many are looking to pursue masters in Germany. Waiting for your answers.
Yes, guys. Thank you, Mohit. Keep putting in your questions in the Q&A session before we go live uh, with the key presentation today. Some more minutes. Probably, I don't know if you have seen my other presentations or have been a part of my earlier webinars. Just a bit on myself, since we have a little bit of time to interact. Friends, I did my MBA from Germany long back, class of 2006, and since then I've been a part of German education system for almost 15 years. Have possibly sent more than 1,000 students in this span of last 15 odd years in various capacities, earlier representing certain universities and school, and then as a founder and director of EUGateway since 2016. We are based in Pune, in the western part of India, and you all are more than welcome in case if you are from Pune or visiting Pune to come and meet me in person or pay us a visit in case we could be helpful for you to fulfilling your dream of healthcare education or education in general in Germany or in Europe or any other part of the world, because lately we have started other countries as well where we can go deeper and can help you to achieve your goals. A bit on myself. Okay, thank you. You've been a lovely audience so far. I think now it's time to go live because I don't want to waste time of yours. It's a Saturday morning, it's an early morning, and we should not waste more time for the people who have already joined in and the one who will take some time to join. So let's go directly into the session. Okay. EUGateway and my mission make optimum use of technology and expertise to help students make informed decisions on overseas career choices, representing a full array of options that are both reasonable and rewarding. I think technology has started to play quite a role in education abroad, counseling and consulting, and in various facets of it. So we have made a mission that use technology as one of the medium to help students to achieve the optimum result in a more reasonable and rewarding manner, and that's the mission we are carrying forward. I just talked a little bit about myself. Additionally, I'm an international certified career coach from University of California and an MBA from Germany from Hochschule Offenburg, founder of EUGateway. A bit on myself, my side, which I've just said. So how you can stay connected with us? I think a few of you already know. The one who haven't done it, I would ask Prashant from my team to quickly post in all the handles where you all could stay connected, ask your doubts, get more informed about various opportunities available in education sector, in European education sector, and how we could be helpful for you. Prashant just posted the links and we'll just wait. Yes, Prashant has already posted the link. Guys, you can subscribe to various handles which we have: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can follow us on LinkedIn. Join us on a WhatsApp group for constant updates on various activities, our Telegram group, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll just take a pause for a minute so that you can do this activity, and then we can continue with the next set of our presentation.
And guys, I want everyone to do this because we have a bonus in the end of the session. So I want you to stay tuned because you all will be getting that bonus. But we have to know that you are connected true on our social media, so that you can always stay tuned with our coming updates on bonuses, on value pack sessions for free of cost. So once done, just comment D4 in the chat section.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mohit, for chipping in. Yes, I forgot to mention the bonus part. Definitely, there is a bonus for people who subscribe to all these handles and channels. I might win a lot of other goodies which we have in store, and I will announce it only at the end of it if you stay till the very end. And of course, if you sign up to all these channels which we have in place. Just type D5, D4, D6 to the number of channels you subscribe in these next couple of minutes.
Waiting for your D4, guys, so that we can start as soon as possible. Awesome. We got one done. How many more duns to come?
Come on, guys. Everybody is waiting. We don't want to keep you waiting for eternity. Let's do this quickly, and then let's move to the next slide.
Abdul, I'm just calling out your name so that you let me know you guys have done. Apurva, Abdul, Atul, Devyan, Dhananjay, Sachin, Vishad, Atul. Great. No worries, Vishad. You can always come down, but just note down our social media link for you to later us follow us on them. Awesome. Atul done, Vishad done. So Prashant, I just want you to note down these names. We will be having a special bonus for these people in the end.
Excellent. Super. Thank you, guys who have done it, and the one who are in the process, just type it there, and my team is following it up. We'll have your names, and we'll announce the bonus for all of you just at the end of the session. Next slide now. Okay. Healthcare sector. I think you probably have noticed, understood what healthcare sector in Germany would look like, but I have just prepared a little slide on for you to understand the system of healthcare in Germany. I think so Germany has this universal multi-payer healthcare system, the combination of public healthcare and a private healthcare, and everything is kind of insured. Depending on what kind of status you are in Germany, you can avail this public healthcare system, or you could also be a private healthcare insurance system, private healthcare user. One of the largest recruiter industry in Germany currently employs around 6 million people. Highest potential growth for expected growth of 5.1% between 2020 to 2025 in euro terms, and the highest density of physicians currently available in Germany. Of course, the population of Germany does matter, just 80 million, 82. And we have around 4.5 physicians per 1,000 individuals. Can any of you who I believe in this session are qualified doctors or professionals or medical professionals, give me a number? What is the density of doctors in India as per our population? Any number, any figure which you might know would be very helpful to understand the difference. In Germany, it's around 4.5 per 1,000 individuals. What about India? I guess some of you would have, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, probably you would have read or know this already. What is the density of physicians, or what is the density of medical professional, qualified medical professional per 1,000 individuals in India? Any answer, guys? Anybody knows this? Just type in the chat box if you have this answer. Probably interesting to know. Okay, so maybe a homework. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't know either. No worries. Maybe you go back and look around, and then you have a very good comparison to look at. Okay. Next. Okay. So I think largely I will be talking about these three topics today: MBBS, MD. How can you, as an Indian student or Indian qualified professional, go for your MBBS or MD program? Second is Ausbildung, so vocational courses in healthcare sector. That's the topic number two, which I am touching today. And third is an MBA program in healthcare. How you, as a qualified professional, go for an MBA program in healthcare in Germany. So I will take these three topics and we'll discuss one by one. And later on, we have interesting set of guests with whom we will have the chats ranging from entire healthcare system, which we would like to address. So for MBBS, how you as an Indian student can apply, can go for studies in Germany for MBBS. Very simple. Well, not that simple though. The foremost requirement is that you need to have minimum 90% in your class 12. That is a very, very important requirement. Anything less than 90 makes it very, 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 very competitive to make it to the medical colleges in Germany. So first requirement is 90% and above. Second requirement is you would need at least C1 level of German proficiency to actually start your medical education, because the entire medical education system in Germany is in German language. So MBBS, MD, anything and everything that relates to doctors' activity has to be in German language. So you would need C1 level of German language. That's requirement number two. Requirement number three, which I unfortunately did not put here, is that you as a class 12 student, although would have physics, chemistry, and biology in your class 12 as a subject of choice, you would also need to have mathematics. Yes, this is an additional requirement, but we say that in India, we don't get both PCBM as a subject choices in a vast number of schools. You need to have that because if you do not have maths, it will be difficult for you to appear for this 6 to 12 months of foundation program, which is called student colleague. So traditionally, Indian education system has 12 years of schooling, whereas German school education system has 13 years of schooling. So in order to bridge this gap of 1 year, there's a foundation course to be attended in Germany, which we call it student colleague. And this foundation course is between 6 to 12 months, 1 to 2 semester duration. In order to get into this student colleague, you need to have, as I said, 90% in class 12 and at least B2 level of German language before you can write an entrance exam to get into this student colleague and study Amtrak. So Amtrak is very special. So this foundation program, student colleague, has different tracks based on the studies you would like to do. For medicine and healthcare related, it is Amtrak, which you would study. Now, Amtrak student colleague is not generally offered by a lot of people. It's mostly public universities who would offer you this Amtrak student colleague. And in order to get an entry into the Amtrak student colleague, you would need to have at least B2 level in German language. And then you write an exam, you pass this entrance exam, and then you study at least 6 to 12 months of student colleague. Once you complete this student colleague, finishes your FSP exam, you get an entry to a medical education in Germany. So you would start your actual MBBS degree. Now this MBBS is of 3 years. It's 6 years in Germany. 2 years of your clinical studies, 3 years of clinical studies, and 1 year of practicals. In total, around 6 years of your studies post your German language and student language. So for you, after your class 12, you are looking at least 18 months to 2 years before you can actually start your medical education in any of the medicine universities which I have listed here in Germany. It's a bit of a tedious process, but then once you pass through this step, you are actually studying for free in Germany. So there is no tuition fees. When I say free education, I meant no tuition fees. The only fees which you pay is your living cost, which also sometimes gets subsidized by certain organizations. But largely keeping in mind that there is no tuition fees to study Amtrak student colleague, there is no tuition fees to study medicine studies in Germany. The only fees which you need to pay is for learning the German language. Now, this German language you can start learning from India, or you can come to Germany to study this German language, or you can do a hybrid model, some levels in India online, and then the final levels in Germany. Then you get yourself prepared for the exam, the student colleague exam, to write the exam, to pass the exam, and then move into doing your student colleague, then pass the student colleague, and then you move into your medical education in Germany. In total, I give you another understanding and correlation. Yeah, medical education in Germany is free. You do not pay any tuition fees. A student colleague Amtrak also is free at public universities. You do not pay any tuition fees. There may be some players, maybe one or two players, who could offer you an Amtrak student colleague without an entrance exam at around 5,000 or 6,000 euros. That is something which is possible as well, and we can help you with that too. But in general, the standard is everything for the medical education would come free. You need to only take care of your living cost when you are in Germany, and your cost for learning German language. These are the two costs which you need to keep in mind. And if I have to explain you what kind of cost it will have before you actually start your medical education, if everything you do it from India and then come to Germany, I think you're looking roughly around 5-6 lakhs rupees of expenses in your German language preparation and associated costs. That's what you would have incurred if you come to Germany to learn the German language, or if you get yourself registered with a German organization who would help you learn the German language, help you prepare for these student colleague exams, help you pass these exams. Then I think the associated cost, including your 1 year of your living expenses, would come roughly between 15 to 18 lakhs. But that's a pre-cost before you actually start your medical education in Germany, which then is totally free in nature. Now, there's a huge difference of cost when you do a medical education in India and you do a medical education in Germany. The biggest factor in India is how to get into a public healthcare, public medical education, public medical college in India. The competition is stiff. This year itself, for example, there are around 17 lakh people who have registered for the NEET exam, which is going to happen in some days. They have so 17 lakhs, and for probably 80,000 odd seats across medical colleges, public or private, in India. So you can see the competition. Not everybody can get into a public medical education in India, and that's where you look for a private medical education where you pay probably more than 1 crore of rupees, even in tuition fees, because that's how the setup has been now. Instead of capitation, you pay around 20-25 lakhs per annum in tuition fees to the private medical schools in India, and you pay it over the period of 5.5 years, and then you have your rural internship, which is now mandatory, and then you move into your profession. The work hours are 18 to 19 in India, as compared to possibly standard work hours which we have in Germany. Now, these are certain pros and cons which you have to keep in mind. Either you sign up for this huge cost in India, or probably you sign up for these probably 15-18 lakhs of free costs before you start your free education in Germany. These are the most important requirements. So if you have less than 90%, 88, 89, you can get lucky, no surety. But anything less than that, you can forget that you can get an admit for an MBBS program in Germany. So 90% and above are the guys, then C1 language, and then student colleague, and then everything follows. Starting salary for medical professionals in Germany is 60,000 to 80,000 euros per annum. The consultation fees to get you through the entire process from EUGateway is around euro 1,400. This is for MBBS and MD. Now, next slide. The second part, which I'm covering today, is Ausbildung, the vocational courses, which basically means the elite healthcare profession which you can be a part of. What do you need to get into Ausbildung? So basically, if you have heard about dual system of German education, then this is what it is: vocational training courses, Ausbildung programs. What do you need? In 50% in class 12, that's okay. You should be in the age bracket of 18 to 24. That is important. Age bracket of 18, minimum 18, maximum 24. You would also need German level up to B2. That's the requirement to get into a healthcare vocational training programs in Germany. Now, this Ausbildung training program is for 3 years. This is a 3-year duration wherein you would study half a day. You would have your studies, and half a day you would work in a industry, at a hospital or at a clinic. For the training you have subscribed to, it could be physiotherapy, it could be lab technicians, it could be nursing, it could be anything which is elite healthcare science. All these trainings are available as a part of vocational courses, and you could subscribe to these programs as well. A little more detail in this, how you can go about this entire process. Register with us, start your German language training. You finish up to B1 level online from India, and then we organize your interviews with German hospitals, German clinics. You qualify that interview, you get your job offer in hand, you have the job letter, job offer in hand. With this job letter, you apply for your visa. It's a vocational training program visa. You get your visa, you reach Germany, you start from the day one with the company, and you start with the university where you would study part-time. The company would start paying you minimum 1,000 euros as the salary the day you start in Germany. Second greatest advantage here is you do not need a block account. So there is no blocking of funds when you go for this Ausbildung vocational training programs in Germany. Yeah, you could be physiotherapist, you could be lab assistant, you could be dietitian, you could be radiologist, anything which is related to elite health or paramedics is a part of this vocational training program. No block account. From the day one, you start making around 1,000 euros per month. The year 2, you will make 1,200 or 1,300 euros per month. The year 13, you make around 1,500 euros per month. In total, this Ausbildung training program is for 3 years. And after you graduate, you get a specialized European diploma in your related field. It could be physician, it could be physiotherapist, it could be radiologist, it could be lab pathologist, it could be anything. But then that's what you get. 3-year European diploma, and this diploma is valid across European Union. After 3 years, you are qualified to work in Germany with a standard salary of minimum 3,000 to 3,500 euros as a start. This is what this Ausbildung vocational training program means. But please understand, this is not a bachelor's degree. This is a vocational training program, gives you a European diploma. It is not a bachelor's degree. For you, if you want to, after completing this diploma for 3 years, if you want to go for a bachelor's degree, you can very well proceed ahead, registering yourself as a regular student or as a private student, and do your bachelor's degree in Germany. From my experience, from the knowledge which I possess, after you complete these 3 years of diploma in your elite science, you would not need a bachelor's degree, because you will have a proper job, regular job, and in most of the cases, you do not require an additional bachelor's or master's degree to get into the industry, because the industry has already accepted you, and now after 3 years of your diploma has given you the job, and that's where you continue with your profession. September, October intake, learning of your German language could start anytime. It's a rolling process. Once you finish your training, you start earning salary of 30 to 40,000 euros. The consultation charges for this kind of a program with EUGateway is roughly around 5,000 euros. That's for vocational training. Now, I already have some questions here for healthcare I have received in Q&A. I just want to cover it, this topic as well. MBA in healthcare. Now, who can be eligible for MBA program in healthcare? I think anybody who has studied medicine or who has studied healthcare sciences or allied healthcare sciences in India are eligible to apply for MBA program in healthcare. Minimum 2 years and above is the experience which is needed to go for an MBA program in healthcare. Generally, this MBA program in Germany is divided between 1 year minimum to maximum 2 years. Every university would follow a different format for this MBA and healthcare program. Some would run it entire in a year. Some would have a modular format. Some would have a format which fits in different medical professionals, because those are the ones who want to have an added MBA degree. Minimum 50% and above is what is needed in your grade. Some universities are okay with 50%. Some universities would ask that you should have at least 60 or 70% in your bachelor's degree, to qualify for this MBA in healthcare. Again, MBA in healthcare could be achieved in two systems: public universities or private universities. Public universities would not charge you a tuition. So public universities generally tend not to charge tuition fees, but since it's an MBA program, you would still end up paying a smaller amount of tuition fees. Now, this tuition fees could range from minimum 6,000 euros in the state of Baden-Württemberg to maybe 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 euros. So MBA these days in Germany is not free, even at public universities. You would still end up paying small amount. So that amount you need to budget in. If you go for a private university for healthcare MBA, you probably end up paying maybe 16,000, 20,000, 25,000 euros for 1 year to 18 months of an MBA in healthcare program. No German language requirement. You can simply, with your English, IELTS, you can pursue this program in Germany. Internships are generally offered. Sometimes it's mandatory, sometimes it's not, but then it's up to your profession, how you do it. Most of the people do it as an add-on qualification, and they want to finish it and want to go back to their country and serve their people or start on their own. Some people who are looking for a change, in their career and want to settle in Germany also takes this route. This is an easy route for a lot of people, a lot of doctors also, to come to Germany, enroll themselves for a healthcare program, MBA healthcare program, finish their healthcare program, because a regular MBA in healthcare would provide them an opportunity to stay back for 18 months in Germany and then possibly look for a job. Now, two caveats. One is either you, after doing an MBA in healthcare, you being a doctor, can look for jobs which are related to your industry. Probably not a medicine job, but a job of consulting, job of advisory, job of elite system, healthcare system, where you do not need a license. You can do this. The other part is, if you want to practice medicine only after doing an MBA in healthcare in Germany, and you want to practice medicine in Germany, then you would need to pass a state medical license exam. The state medical license exam is known as approbation, and I think when we have our guest, he will put us more light how you can qualify for this so-called approbation, so-called license, and practice medicine after pursuing your MBA in healthcare from Germany. Our consultation fees for MBA in healthcare is around 600 euros, and we can help you through this entire application and admission process for a healthcare in Germany. 2 intakes, September and March. Yes, I think this is where the healthcare. So these are the 3 main topics which we have covered. Now, I think it's time to call upon our guest, Dr. Oliver Wagner. He's an MD, he's a PhD, now runs a successful consulting firm in medicine in Germany. He has a lot of things to talk about himself. He's a management consultant, he's a partner in Healthcare Shapers, digital health strategy advisor as well, and engineering digital health advisors, international partner and health. So he has a lot. He, being a doctor and a surgeon in Germany, has taken an alternate route to build his career in medicine and consulting in Germany. And I think he's a successful example for a lot of you as doctors, what you could achieve if you come to Germany. And it's my pleasure now to invite Dr. Wagner to our session today. Dr. Wagner, if you are there, can you make yourself visible, please? Okay, just give me a second. I will have a quick check where Dr. Wagner is he still, has he made himself available? Just give me a second. I think Dr. Wagner is taking a couple of minutes to join. Meanwhile, I think I will just address some of the questions which has been put here till the time Dr. Wagner joins in. Okay. Okay, so I have some questions here which I'm going to take till I wait for Dr. Wagner. I think he should be here any minute. Okay. Vishad, I think bachelor's in homeopathy program, the main route how you will follow this is what I have explained. Even if you want to go for homeopathy program, you would need a German language proficiency to start with. You need to go through with the center process of student colleague, MTrack, and then you get an admission to a medical school offering a homeopathy program. So entering this homeopathy program would still mean the same track which I've just explained. A pre-process of German language, student colleague, and then getting an admit to the university offering a homeopathy program in medicine. Whereas M-Track is basically medicine track, which prepares a student for a medical education at the university level. So these are different tracks of a foundation program. For medicine is M-Track. For example, for business studies it's W. For engineering and IT is an I track or WI track. So various tracks is been divided for the program in a student colleague, basis which you would study your bachelor studies in Germany. KP, there is no semester fees, as I said, for studying medicine in Germany. There would, however, be a semester contribution, which ranges from 100 to probably 150 euros, which covers your transportation in Germany, which covers your usage of university resources, including library. But there is no semester fees for bachelor studies or for student colleague MTech studies in Germany. Apurva, you checking other courses than MBA in a non-clinical stream? I think you go for masters in healthcare, masters in public healthcare, public policy, public research. All these masters programs are available at various universities in Germany in English language, and they are also at public universities, so you would not pay any tuition fees. And those are the other options which you could have. For master studies, you would not need any experience. You can apply directly after your bachelor's degree if it's in healthcare. Vishal, please send me an email and I'll help you understand all the process with respect to how you can go forward with the details. Prashant, just put in my email ID, please, for everybody to know. Whoever wants to connect directly and get more information can send us a direct email. Yes, Devyan Chakrabarti's question is the percentage done according to ISC in India based on best 4 subjects. Is that accepted in Germany, or do we need to score 90% and above in specified subjects? You need to have 90% and above overall, Devyan. Even if it's most important, minimum 3 subjects of yours, which is PCB, should score above 90%. And then you have a chance to get admit at a medicine school in Germany. 90% and above. So basically, KP, 6 years of MBBS, which we call it a bachelor's in medicine in Germany, followed by your work, followed by your job at a medical school in Germany, and this, and then you actually enroll yourself for the MD program, which is an on-job training. So you do not have as such how to go about an MD. Where can I study MD in Germany? It's nothing like this. You have your 6 years of your medicine degree, followed by you start the work at a medical college or at a hospital or a clinic, and then while you practice, you as well then pick up a specialization and continue your the so-called PG studies in your chosen field in Germany. So you practice and you study side by side in that particular hospital or a medical chain. You do not have per se a separate MD kind of a program. But if so, you do it on the job. And then you give certain exams, you pass, and then you get this MD title. Dr. Rucha, same thing. If you have if you have a qualification of MBBS from India, and if you want to go for a specialist MDS in Germany, then okay. So let me touch this topic as well. And meanwhile, let me see if Dr. Wagner has come in. I think he is still not here, which is unfortunate. Let me continue it for a couple of more minutes, then we invite another guest, because I think then we can take it up with another guest. I guess Dr. Wagner seems like got into some kind of emergency, and that's why he is not there. He's not showing up, is what my understanding is still. Okay, no worries. I think what I will do is take you through to certain more questions which we have planned for Dr. Wagner, especially the one which is how to go about MDs or PGs in Germany. You as a qualified doctor from India need to undergo German language training. You can do at least certain level up to B1 level from India. Then you register for a German language training institute in Germany. You complete your B2 and C1 level of German, including medical German. So once you complete up to C1 level of medical German and write an exam, which is Test DAF or Telc C, this is an important document for you to have, a Test DAF or Telc C certification. And once you have this, then you prepare yourself for a state medical license exam. You being a doctor from India, completed up to C1 level of German, including a medical German, which is partly done in India and then the last part done in Germany. Then you prepare yourself for a state medical license exam. This is known as approbation. Now, this approbation could be taken depending on the state you would like to continue your work post your selection as a doctor. There are 16 states in Germany. Depending on the state you would like to go and work, you can select that this is the state I am looking forward, maybe state of Hessen, state of Baden-Württemberg, state of Bavaria, state of Northern Westphalia, anything which you would like to look for. You register for the examination in that particular state, and then you write the exam. This exam is totally in German language, and the center who would help you complete up to C1 level of medical German would also help you to prepare for this exam. Once you prepare this exam, you write this exam, and you pass this exam, you get a medical license to practice. Once you get a medical license to practice, then you apply to the hospitals or to the clinics with this qualification to start your job. This is the process of you getting yourself absorbed into a medical profession in Germany, you being a qualified doctor. There is no other way how you can get yourself absorbed without a German language or without a state license and practice in Germany. These are the pre-steps. I hope you have noted them down. If not, send me an email and I'll send you the detailed structure of this as well. But this is the structure of how you can progress ahead working as a medical professional in Germany. And this is regardless of the expertise you would like to pursue. Dr. Rucha, as I said, the process which I have just explained remains the same. Yes, we help you with the German language. We'll help you with the center in Germany who would continue with your C1 level and medical German. We also help you with the state license preparation exam, approbation, and then the job. This is a process which we also help students with. KB, once you complete your license, you pass your exam. I think you get your license to practice. Now, depending on possibly your qualification, it could be temporary or it could be a permanent license. Ravina, nursing jobs again require up to B2 level and a nursing certificate if you already have from India. Or you can also enroll for a vocational training nursing exam, nursing qualification, where you would have a study for nursing as well as you would practice nursing from day one. So this is possible. Okay, I think we will move on now to our next guest because I see Dr. Wagner has just pinged me and has sent me his apologies regarding his unavailability because of an emergency for which he has to be at the hospital today to carry out certain emergency work. Unfortunately, I would also like to apologize to my audience for non-availability of Dr. Wagner, but then he got into an emergency and I'm sorry for this. But let's move on to our next guest is Imran Khan. He is a director in business development at Eurasia Institute in Germany. And let me welcome him. Imran, are you there? Okay. I think I also received a message that for Imran, we have Stefan, who is filling in for Imran today. And he's representing Imran and Eurasia, and he's feeling more than happy to take our questions for the session today. Welcome, Stefan. You can introduce yourself quickly, and I'm promoting you to join in and open your camera.
Hello.
Yes, Stefan. Hi. Can you switch on your camera too?
Of course, of course. I'm trying to, but it's not allowing me.
Not allowing you?
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Let me see. Okay, I just promoted you. Let's see if you can now do this.
I should be working. Right.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect. Your picture comes a little dark. Maybe there's a light issue.
Yeah. So you can't see me?
We can see you, but it's totally dark. It looks like there's a light issue. Maybe you can put on a better light. Maybe if that's a possibility for you.
Sure. Let me see what I can do.
Does it work, Stefan? Okay. While Stefan fixes light, maybe I'll take quickly another question if it's there. Okay, there's a question from Prashant. Says, how does nurse become a permanent residency and citizenship in Germany? I think after a couple of years of work in a hospital, in a capacity of nurse, and if you have an open contract, you can apply for EU blue card followed by PR, permanent residency. Takes minimum 22 months in your job to apply for a PR or maximum of 5 years working for a government, working for industry and paying the taxes to German government, you can apply for the PR. So minimum time duration is 22 months to 5 years for the PR option in Germany. And for nurses, this could even be shorter. So maybe even earlier because there's a huge rush, huge demand of nurses and qualified GPs at the moment in Germany. So task is a bit easier at the moment if you want to go for a PR in Germany, being a nurse. Okay. So I have another question here in Q&A section where Menas is asking, what is the career of D Pharma candidates in Germany? What further education available? How the career can progress? So if you are looking for a pharmacy option in Germany, I think you have a master's degree in pharmaceutical sciences available, Menas, which you could pursue. And this pharmaceutical degree, master's in pharmacy or pharmacoeconomics related degree is available in English language. You could pursue that. Then, of course, in parallel, you would also be studying your German language so that you can then later on, once you complete your master's and you have 18 months of stay back, you can then apply to the industry in Germany and work in a capacity of, a pharmacist, maybe in a clinic or in a hospital chain, or you could work in an industry, in a manufacturing industry, having a degree in pharmacy from a German university. So that's how gradually your career will progress. German language would play a critical role for you to land yourself a proper job, being a pharmacist or working in a pharmacy industry in Germany. Okay, now I think Stefan is back and we can see him very clearly. Thank you so much. This looks great now, Stefan. And thank you for taking time out on Saturday morning. And I know how important it is in Germany, those Saturdays and Sundays, and I pull you out from from your holiday to be a part of this interesting session on healthcare industry in Germany. And thank you once again. So guys, I have Stefan with me. Stefan, would you like to just introduce yourself for a couple of minutes? Then I have some questions for you, already been received by a lot of students, and we'll take it one by one.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sumit, for this wonderful opportunity speaking to you and speaking to your audience. My apologies. The lighting, like you said, I'm on my vacation and it's a weekend. So, but I said there is no better opportunity than this for our partner to invite us to talk to his clients or potential students. So my names are Stephen Boite. I am currently here in Germany, in Berlin. I live and work with the Eurasia Institute. For the last close to 3 decades, the Eurasia Institute has been offering opportunities to students from over 100 countries. So close to 25,000 students have been offered the chance to come to Germany. And I am so delighted working together with these students. I have contributed some little contribution to their success. At Eurasia Institute, I take care of students from Africa, Latin America, as well as I am the business manager for the healthcare programs, as well as the career pathways in the dual academic programs. I've been working in this job now close to 9 years. I've had the pleasure of traveling to several countries, talking to students about Germany. And most of the important question I think I get always is, why Germany? There are a lot of reasons. I think I've been following your presentation very closely, and you really mentioned a number of reasons, and I couldn't agree more. Everything is absolutely right. Germany is a land of opportunities, especially if you think about the health industry. Germany is a leading, if not the largest provider of most of the healthcare service provider. Like if you talk about production, if you talk about engineering, if you talk about treatment, if you talk about taking care of people when they need help at the elderly stage, Germany is a top country. So I think you're offering a great opportunity here today.
Perfect. Thank you, Stefan, for introduction. I think you come with a wide experience, and I think you couldn't have been any right speaker today to handle these questions, which we have especially planned. And I think would largely help our audience to further understand the way forward for their healthcare education or healthcare profession in Germany. So my first question, Stefan, to you is, maybe you can help us understand in your own words a difference between a general degree and an Ausbildung.
Great. So very good question. A general degree will focus very much on the specifics of the subject. So if you're studying medicine, you will be studying about 6.5 years of a medical degree. That's about 12 semesters where you're going to be doing all kinds of subjects, and there's going to be internships as well throughout, but it's purely academical. And that means you're going to be doing a lot of chemistry, physics, a lot of biology. The difference between that and the Ausbildung is that in the Ausbildung, it's an on-job training. You're coming to Germany to do theoretical studies where you're doing 4 weeks rotation program, 4 weeks in the clinic or in an elderly care home. Then you come back 4 weeks in the nursing school where you have a chance to reflect about what you have been learning in the practice. So the most important difference is that the other one is an academic, a purely academic program leading to a medical academic degree called a state exam. And Ausbildung, whether in nursing or whether in physiotherapy or medical lab attendant, is a purely on-job training with a monthly allowance that you'll be getting because you're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week when you're doing your practical placement.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, that's the classic difference. A purely academic degree, which is 6 years, 12 semesters, and then from the day one, a practical training, practical degree, practical diploma, where you start earning from day one and you work on all elite health services. Yes.
Maybe just to add on also one thing about the Ausbildung. The last couple of years, the Ausbildung was very much focused, for example, on Krankenpflege, like clinical care. Now today it's called a general Ausbildung or a generalistic trainee, which means that you're not only concentrating on one field. You could do this profession and work in a hospital. You could do elderly care and work with elderly people, but you can also work with children with child care. So the 3 years rotational program gives you an inside outlook on the whole healthcare system in Germany, looking at the old, looking at the hospitals, and looking at the young or the children, how it works. And it's quite exciting because students come out and they can choose where they want to go throughout the 3 years because they have gathered a lot of experience.
Yeah, perfect. So my next question, Stefan, for you is, what are the challenges that international students face while learning German, and how do they overcome it?
That's a very good question, Sumit, because myself, having been myself a foreigner or a foreign student, I think it gives me a very good position to talk about challenges. Close to 16 years ago, I was a young student right from Uganda, and I also thought about the first option that comes to your mind if you come from an English-speaking country is to go to the UK or to go to the US or to go to Canada. As a matter of fact, I even paid my first semester in the UK, and I had this opportunity just like that, oh, it's possible for you to study in Germany. I couldn't even hesitate because the information was very interesting, just like the way you're talking to these people today. So I decided to give it a chance. Before, I had traveled to some countries and I had been to France. I studied the language there. But there was something about Germany that really attracts me, which is their practicality, their being a practical and quite organized society and very reliable, something that really likes so much about the society. So what challenges did I meet myself as a student? Initially, if you're learning a language, consider it like a child. You are starting to learn to speak, like a child learns to walk. And when they learn to walk or when they learn to speak, you can't start making full sentences. So you make a lot of half or rubber sentences. And over the period of time, you get better. So you could hear a child making smaller statements, longer statements, and then complete and continuous statements. Now, this is the same thing when you learn the language. Don't put yourself on pressure to be perfect in the beginning. My challenge was that I wanted to make complicated sentences without even making 3 months on the program. And then, of course, you get frustrated if you can't do it, especially if you see other foreign students who are doing it. But the challenge is not to overestimate yourself, but to take each day at a time, okay? The other challenge would be, if you're learning the language, not to fear to make mistakes. So many foreign students fear to make mistakes, especially if you're a perfectionist or you come from cultures where you're not taught to make mistakes, where you don't want to embarrass yourself, you fear to speak. Now, the challenge is that if you don't speak, you can't improve your oral skills. If you don't write, you can't improve your written skills. If you do not go out and meet people, you will never know how good you are. So that is a real challenge for me personally when I was learning the language, that I saw a number of students who could not open up their mouth because they fear to be identified that they have made a mistake. So an advice for you or those that are interested in coming to learn this language, open up. Don't fear to speak, even if it means saying really rubbish, but just keep speaking because that's how you get confident. And that's how your teacher can also help you, because I had a teacher that would tell me, Stephen, the verb at the end. Okay, every time you say something, I said, no, verb at the end. So you keep learning because you say something and they can realize that, oh, you're making efforts. Yeah. Another challenge I think students will meet when they finally come over this side is the culture shock. Culture shocks are normal because we all come from somewhere. And if you come to a country and leave your family behind, you leave your mothers or father, your sisters, or your wife or children, you come to a new country, there are expectations from the hosting country and also expectations from the person coming. Now, the challenge comes in if you're not well prepared for that. The good thing is that when we're working with partners like Mr. Sumit, when you come to Germany, I'm sure that you'll be prepared for everything. Before you come to Germany, you should know how the Germans behave. They are not very, very outgoing in the beginning, but that's who they are. And don't take it personal. In some cases, I remember going out and then saying hello to people who I didn't know, and sometimes they did not reply. And at the beginning, it was absolutely awkward for me. But because for them, they are not used to it. And you cannot make friends in 1 week, but after 1 month, 2 months, you can make very good friends. Yeah, so the expectations and the shocks could also be in the area of food. Culturally, we are coming from countries where we cook warm food, where we spend hours preparing food. And you could come here and you see someone just eating a piece of bread on the way, just going to work. And this is a shock for you because if you're not prepared for it, if you don't have anything to prepare for yourself, that might be a little bit difficult for the beginning. But over time, I guess you start even to blend in. You start even to imitate the things and you kind of feel comfortable in the society. And you start finding your own shops where you buy your food, where you can prepare your food. You get a community of people from your country speaking your own language, and slowly things get better as you master the culture, the language. Yeah, so I would say those are some of the main challenges most students will meet, but also myself, what I went through. Maybe even the pressure from home could sometimes be a big challenge. That can be difficult, especially if people are expecting things from your side, or they're pushing you so much, they're expecting a lot of success in a short term. I see a lot of students that sometimes, especially from Africa and India or China, when the parents are achievers and they expect you to achieve so much at a short time, this can be some time of a challenge to students because they are really trying their best, you can see. But if they fail one level, maybe they get a lot of pressure from home. We have to see you through this. They need to get quick success. So we try to help our students really to take it one step at a time. Yeah, I think those are the main challenges I would meet, but it works out quickly. Within 2 to 3 months, most of it is over.
Yep, absolutely. I think I couldn't have agreed more, Stefan. Myself being a student in Germany and have gone through those cultural shocks myself way back in 2004-5. I remember precisely how things were awkwardly put across, and it was coming to me adopting every single bit of it in a fast-paced environment. Yes, there was a shock, but then of course, if you are open, if you are ready to learn, I think you will overcome it, and probably you start enjoying that too. And that's what I precisely did long back. So yes, couldn't agree more on those lines, definitely. Great. My next question for you, Stefan, is how would you characterize the differences between a public and a private university system in Germany, and what factors a student should keep in mind while deciding which side to go?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I would maybe first of all explain the philosophy of education in Germany. USF having started here, you know that Germany as a country, they value education. So education is a right. It's not really for the rich, it's for everyone. So that basically influences their approach to providing education right from childhood, right from kindergarten to primary to secondary university. Education is funded by the German states. So there are 16 federal states in Germany, but each state has a budget for education. And the taxpayers pay a lot of money, and part of this contribution goes towards funding education. So that's the idea of the public education system. It's that the public should be able to provide education to prepare the next professionals who are going to be able to pay taxes, to pay in the social care system, to continue the well-being of the society. If you don't invest in public education, that means you're going to have to depend on others or to lack the professionals that you need. So public education is funded by the government. They pay a lot of money to fund the university, to fund the house building, to fund vocational training. And the government really interests itself in that because it's an investment. Now, private university on the other side comes from this necessity that a number of people to pursue studies in various sectors or in various fields. But most of these fields, say, for example, might not provide the flexibility that public universities don't provide. Say, for example, someone wants to study a program that is not taught in English at a public university. There is only one option: to go into a private university. Private universities are here to take care of the demand which the public universities cannot provide, especially the flexibility of the language. German universities or public universities mainly provide German taught programs. I would say 95% of the programs taught in close to 400 universities are taught in German. Now, since there is a huge demand for many students to come to study and benefit from the German country, they would prefer to rather go in the private track because they get the flexibility, first, of the language, but also in the academic eligibility. Some private universities lower down their entrance requirements to the level that public universities would not do. And this might affect the perception that private universities are not that highly reputable. And I talk to colleagues in public universities, and I know how they see private universities. They think they are mainly making money on students, but that's not entirely true. Private universities are like businesses, and as a business, you're service oriented. So you have to try to see how your service meets the demand. If it comes to admission, private universities have the freedom to choose who they admit. Even if you don't qualify through the normal process of the public universities, private universities are authorized to set up standards of admission. So they can say, for example, you're coming from India, you have 12 years of school. Normally, you should be doing a foundation year to get into public universities. But we have some private universities that would admit students without foundation year under the prerequisite or the requirement that you would say you qualify to study in India. So if you qualify to study at a university in India, they will be admitting you on that basis into their first year of the bachelor's degree. Yeah. So that is the difference, I would say. The other main difference probably is the care they give to students. To be honest, I have a number of universities, or I've visited a couple of universities, private universities, and you see they are quite smaller in size. They provide smaller classes. If you're doing an MBA, for example, in a private university, it's different from doing a master's degree in a public university. You could be studying, for example, at the TU Berlin, the Technical University of Berlin, maybe 150 students in a master's degree, but an MBA program at one of the private universities could have only 30 to 40 students. So there's a huge difference in that. That means also the care they give to students, the support professors give is quite different. Also very critical, most of the professors at private universities come from the industry. So that really gives them a lot of practical experience, as opposed to the public university where you have a lot of professors from the academics. Not to say that the universities won't provide for studies, but private universities, I would say, have a much bigger hand in that when it comes to practicality of studies. Yeah. So those are maybe I would say kind of the differences. I would say for students who are coming, I think they have to make a decision which is mainly about funding. That's the most important reason. You go to a private university, be ready to pay 11 to 12,000 euros a year. Go to a public universities, pay nothing, study for free. The only investment you have to make is learning the language. And that is basically the most important benefit that students will get coming to Germany to public universities.
Yes, absolutely. I think you just nailed the difference between a public and private universities, Stefan, because this has been a classic understanding and debate, and I keep on talking in a lot of my sessions as well, that if it's a private university, it does not mean it brings less value or less quality to you.
Correct.
The perception stays, if I have to come to Germany, I only want to go to public. If I have to pay a fees, then why should I come to Germany to pay a fees? I would rather go to UK and Ireland and pay the fees and study. But they do not understand that differentiation, that why there is not enough capacity. So as you said, a demand and supply. That not everybody can get absorbed at a public university. So there is a need created, and the private players got into offering a quality education, and what all differences you just mentioned in terms of flexibility of languages, in terms of the service, the career service, the opportunities, the fantastic learning environment, the small classrooms, the qualified professors, the trainers from the industry. I think this is all what additional a student get when they get into a private university, notwithstanding lowering any quality bar. But on the other side, the increased amount of services, the increased amount of those small things which you as an international student requires and needed to make a success in Germany is what being offered at the private university. So that's where this classic differentiation, what you just mentioned, I think you nailed it. This is fantastic. Thank you so much for this answer and bring more clarity for a lot of students here today to understand why at times it is also prudent to look at a good private university to study in Germany.
Correct.
Okay, I think I'll have a couple of more questions for you, Stefan, before I let you go, because I don't want to hold on. I generally have a very long list, but I will not hold you for all those questions. A couple of more, and then I think I will let you enjoy your Saturday. It's early morning still in Germany. So
no problem. I'm around, no problem.
Thank you. You've been kind. So my next question to you, Stefan, is what has been more valuable for you in your career? Was it the education, or was it the experience which you have maybe achieved or already brought in when you come to Germany?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. Mr. Sumit, I don't know how you came to that. If it's a question from the audience, that's a very tough question, because what's more valuable? I would say both. When I came to Germany, I was coming for an education that has a strong quality, that has international recognition. Anywhere you go in the world, if you say you completed your degree from a German university, it has a certain sign of respect to it. Yeah. And I also really love the approach to learning, the strong mix of the practical and the theory. So I think the education in Germany to me is very valuable. But my experience has been really an amazing one. I think over time, I've realized that maybe I got more than education. I managed to come to Germany as a young student, growing from a quite sizable family as a young boy. I was not prepared for many of the things or the tasks, even the simple things like cooking for myself. And coming to Germany as a young boy and learning this for the first time to be independent, learning to make decisions, very important decisions, whether to go to class or to stay in bed, whether to cook your food or to go and eat fast food, whether to invest time in going to the library or to go and meet friends. So there were a lot of things that I had to learn, and this experience to me has prepared myself, and my decisions have made me who I am today. And I think looking back for the last now 16 years living here in Germany, I think this becomes the most valuable thing to me, The education is always there in the background, but the experience that learning and studying abroad gives you is enormous. It's worth more than a PhD because you really can't put all this into context. There is a lot that you have to experience as a student coming from abroad. And it happens so fast that you can't sometimes even have a strategy how to go about it. But as you spend more years and learning and talking to people, you learn to really find solutions. You learn to be resilient, and you learn to be self-driven. You learn to be solution-oriented. And most important, you start looking at yourself compared to those that stayed home. You start to look at yourself as someone who have really achieved, because it takes a lot of courage to leave your comfort zones, to leave your family, to leave your friends, to leave the family, people that know you, and to start from zero. Because when you come here, you start with zero. I'm talking about the culture bank account. You have your whole experience abroad. If you're not grown up here, you come and start from zero, and you build on that, and then you settle down, you make a family, you start working, and you get everything. And when you look back at that, I think I would say then the experience that I've enjoyed here is outweighing the education that I got. Now, I don't know if this meets your expectations when you're asking this question, but this is very personal for me.
Yes, it does. It actually gives a lot of insight from a perspective of being an international student. You know, with regards to your own journey in academia, as well as the culture and the experience, the life experiences, the industry experiences which you have achieved. So definitely this helps. Stephen, my last question to you for the day, because now we are running out of time and I need to move forward. What is your advice? What is the advice you would give to an aspirant who is looking forward to come to Germany for studies in medical education, in a healthcare education system? What would be your one advice which you would like to give to the audience here today?
Thank you so much, Sumit. My advice, first and foremost, is to have a very clear understanding of your strength. This is what we do for most of our students. The first thing we do is to sit down and have an analysis of what are your greatest strengths. What is it that you really enjoy? Is it the healthcare? Is it the nursing part? Is it the academic part? That is very important because the profession is it's a risky profession. You're dealing with human beings. You're dealing with people that have lost their mind. You're dealing with people that have maybe been brought into an elderly care. They have lost they are right now in a home. Someone has to take care of them. And they were doctors, they were psychologists, they were business people. And finally they are here depending on you. So the question is, are you that kind of person who is capable of taking care of another person? Would you rather maybe work with machines or with IT rather than a human being? So take that career assessment seriously, because it can also lead to frustration. The two professions that you've been talking about today, academics, they require a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. You have to be a really, really hardworking person, because before coming to Germany, you said if you don't have 90% of math and above, do not even think about applying for medicine. But if you are a person that is interested in hands-on, on-job, then why not consider a profession in nursing, in physiotherapy, in MRT, lab attendant, in midwifery? So the most important is to be realistic. If I can't qualify for medicine, but I am a person that feels that I have a calling to work with people, to help people, who care for people, then try to be flexible. Don't be so rigid. I see a lot of students who lose time when they come here and they want to become medical doctors at all costs, even though you've told them there is no chance to. They waste a lot of time, and then finally they realize they can't be doctors, and then they have to reorient themselves. So make this career choice right before. Listen to our partners, listen to your counselors. The counselors have experience in this, and they know the realities on the ground. So that's my most important advice. Be realistic about your interest, what you really want in life, what your enjoyment factor is, and your greatest strength will determine how you're going to be able to enjoy the career later on. Second and last one, I would say, value the language. Coming to Germany, in any of the professions that you should take, whether you want to go into the academics or into the vocational Ausbildung, language is very crucial because it's the key to the society. It's the key that is going to open all doors for you. But if in your mind, you're only thinking about English, I want English, English, definitely there's no way you're going to take care of German patients speaking to them in English. There is no way you're going to take care of elderly people in a hospice or in an elderly house only speaking English. So the language is going to be very, very vital. And the most important part of the language is not that you become a German teacher, but that you're capable of communicating to your colleagues and to your clients or to your patients that you're taking care of. So I think those are the most important suggestions or advice I could give to anyone who is interested coming to Germany.
Perfect. Make a career choice right before. On that note, I thank you, Stefan, for giving your valuable inputs on various possibilities in Ausbildung or healthcare education in Germany and enlightening my audience today. I think it was lovely interacting with you on Saturday morning. And I must say, the knowledge which you have shared today would definitely be an eye-opener to many who are here or probably who would watch this recording later to understand what path they need to take. And the most important, make your career choice before you come is the key to success. Is the key to success in Germany. Thank you so much, Stefan, for your time today. And I wish you a great Saturday, great weekend, and I look forward to interacting with you more in the days to come. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sumit. It was a great honor and pleasure talking to you, and greetings from Eurasia Institute in Delhi.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, gentlemen, we continue with our presentation. It was lovely hearing Stefan and talking various facets about education system and experiences which he as an international student from Uganda has faced and how he has made himself successful into a career, into a profession in Germany. And I think he classically put a lot of differences which we as an audience have in mind. The difference between public university, private university, the role of the German language in Germany, the role of making your strength analysis, your right career choices, the flexibility the private universities offer vis-a-vis to public universities, the demand and supply gap between not everybody could get into a public university, so we have an alternate, which is a private university, and things like this. I think it was an eye-opener for a lot of us today interacting with Stefan and get to know his key insights in terms of what you should look forward when you are planning for future studies in Germany. Now, moving forward, I think just a couple of more slides, how we can help you at EUGateway, entirely identifying your strength. That's what we call it, profiling and goal clarity, your strength analysis, your documentation part, your exam preparations, university shortlistings, your applications, admissions, visa guidance, and accommodation and thing which comes. Once you are even in Germany, we can hold you to the next level of support which you might need in terms of your continuous progress in Germany. This is what, in general, EUGateway does. The prices for various healthcare-related topics have already been informed in the beginning. You can choose for any of those. You can go for MBA in healthcare, and you can take our services if you want to go for vocational training programs. You can take our services if you want to go for a medicine-led preparation and the way forward. You can take our services. We are there to guide you at every step in this journey of healthcare system in Germany. And lastly, what I did not mention there, but I did talk about in my question and answers is how you as a medical professional can go to Germany and look for look for jobs, look for career by passing this state medical exam and moving forward. So that's another step which we also help our students with, and would be glad if any of you would like to take this opportunity forward. Okay, this is some of those names. These are some of those names of the universities where our successful students are placed at the moment. There are universities which are also from healthcare, but then these are a mix of universities across Europe, Canada, US, where our students are currently studying or have successfully passed out over the past several years, just for you to have an understanding. Okay, and yes, so register and avail flat 20% discount on the packages. This is a webinar only offer which I generally always give to my audience who are present here today. If you register yourself for any of the services which you find interesting in today's session, you can do that. You can do that today and avail flat 20% discount on the packages which has just been mentioned. The link to book a session, to book any of these counseling packages with us is given right here for you. You can use this link and you can avail this discount of 20% on across our services which we have just mentioned. It could be an MBA, it could be for medicine studies, it could be for your vocational training. If you book it today, the booking amount is just 10,000 rupees. You can book it today and avail that 20% discount across our services, which is available only during the webinars. If you come outside and you check and you would like to register, you pay the full price. There is no discounts then as such available. But in the webinar only, you pay 10,000, you book the service you want, and then you avail this 20% discount. Okay. So I have already put the link in. For those who would like to take this forward, can simply click on the link and do this. For all who would like to have question and answers now with me, I'm here for the next 5-10 minutes, and let's get into the Q&A session and answer all your further queries which you have in mind. You can either put your questions in a Q&A or in a chat box, and I will be happy to answer them one by one. Any questions related to healthcare or any questions in general also, I'm there to answer. Any questions, guys? Okay, no questions. Then I think it's time for me to say goodbye. If you do not have any questions for me, I will wait for last couple of 4 minutes. If there's anything, maybe you can unmute yourself. I'll give you the permission to unmute yourself. You can ask the question if you have in mind. Maybe that would be helpful.
Hello.
Yes, Sheikh Muzaffar, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Actually, I joined your debate very lately. So my question is, hello.
Yes, I'm hearing. Please go ahead.
The thing is like masters and I'm a doctor professionally.
Mhm.
So the thing is like just came into my mind that I want to practice in Germany, right?
You want to practice
Hello.
in Germany?
In Germany, like the process is, whatever I heard, about the German that we need to undergo a language course, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So is there any alternative way, like to do like Germany in, German language in German, which will help more than doing it here in India?
You can go for an MBA program if you have a certain work experience. Go for an MBA program in Germany. While you continue with your MBA, you can in parallel learn German, and then you can explore opportunities in healthcare in Germany. That's an alternate route which is available
So that MBA program will be in English language,
in
right?
English language. Yes, in English language.
So it will be in a public university or private university?
It could be both, depending on your existing profile. You could qualify for both, public or private,
MBA in what stream?
in healthcare
Healthcare.
management, healthcare system, public
So
healthcare.
can you just give me a kind of estimate on, like how much will be the fee?
It depends. It depends. If you end up in a public university, then I think in public university, the minimum you could look at paying is around 6,000 to 10,000 euros for our MBA in healthcare and tuition fees, followed by another 10, 11,000 euros in your living costs. So approximately
Got
20 to 25,000 euros for an MBA
got
program
it, got
in
it, sir.
healthcare, even in public or in private university.
Got it, sir. But you mean say, like I will go there as a will take this course and then learn the language. I will as well simultaneously, right?
Yes.
And then do whatever, like that medicine and all. I can like after examination I can join it later, right?
For practicing health, for practicing medicine, you would need a state license. Yeah, so that's a separate
Yeah,
topic.
yeah,
But with
that's
an MBA, you could
Mhm.
be there working in a healthcare system in different capacity and role, but not as a practice, not as a medicine practitioner.
Okay, got it, sir. And one more question is, sir, do you people like deal with any other Schengen country, like Italy, Malta, and all those which include into it?
We do deal with a lot of other countries in Europe, but depending in
Uh-huh.
whichever country you would like to go, I think in Europe the foremost requirement is the language.
Okay.
So, so that's always there. Being a professional doctor, if
Uh-huh.
you want to work in an European country,
Yeah, I need to interact with the people with their own, native language. Yeah, I got it.
absolutely, absolutely, that's the must. That is a must.
Sir, whatever number you have shared to me, like through chat, so can I just connect you after later? Totally tomorrow. To have discuss something about it more.
Yes, yes, you certainly can.
Uh,
Yes,
Thank you, sir. So nice of you. So nice of you.
pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any more doubts, questions? Anyone want to talk?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yes, I'm Dr. Manas, and I have done my Doctor of Pharmacy. Okay, and which is called as PharmD here, and it is a 6 year course. And I'm also pursuing a job here as a clinical pharmacist. And what I'm looking through this webinar is I'm willing to do a master's course or a fellowship course in a clinical oriented domain. Understand? So for that, do I have any more further opportunities in Germany, which I can pursue there?
When you say clinical oriented domain, can you help me understand that further? Because I'm not a doctor from background. So clinical oriented domain means you would like to go into proper clinical research kind of a thing, or in a medicine side. Help me understand that
In a
better.
medicine side. Yeah, in a medicine side.
Okay. So you would like to further study medicine course in Germany.
Yeah, yes.
possibly with a doctor in pharmacy. Another medicine course would mean you need to go through the entire German language system and then study. But I rarely see that you could go into studying an medicine course in Germany, being in B Pharma. That would not be possible. But I think what you could go for is another master's program in pharmacy or pharma related topic. That is quite a possibility. That is something which you could pursue in English language.
Okay.
Yeah, that is possible. But then you moving into doing a medicine course after your D Pharma, I see that there would be a strong reservation to qualify, because the basis to enter into a medicine studies in Germany is 90% in class 12. That's the first and foremost way to look at. And then since you already have a D Pharma and you are a qualified professional, you are practicing pharmacist, I see a strong reservation that you would go into a medicine studies in a clinical studies right from the start again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Last questions, anyone? Anyone related to want to ask questions regarding our services, regarding our consulting process or anything? Please feel free to do that. Happy to help, happy to advise. So for everybody's understanding here, I think Dr. Atul and KP has put what is Fachprüfung and Kent's Prüfung exam. Fachprüfung is a language course. Fachprüfung is also your specialty exam. What you know as a specialty and whether you could qualify to be a specialist in that topic, and then that's what you write as an exam. That's what it is. Fach means subject Sprachprüfung. So Fach Sprachprüfung is basically subject specific exam and language specific exam. Okay, with that note, thank you so much for your time, for your patience. I think it was lovely to have you all here today. Various topics related to healthcare education and public versus private education in Germany. This recording would be available on our YouTube channel for all of you who would like to relook at, or the ones who are not present here today, although they registered, can take advantage and benefit from this knowledge. And maybe we look forward to see you again in some of our other sessions where we can have different set of speakers coming in and talking more about this healthcare system in Germany. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday. Have a great weekend, and God bless you all.